Hello everyone, Retro Dirk here. So today we've got the Analogue 3D, and here are 5 things that you need to do before you boot up your console and get playing some video games. So number 1, you're definitely going to need this. This is a travel adapter. So I'm based here in the UK, and this is an American plug. So I'll take this out and show you. It's got the 2 prongs, no good here in the UK, and you can't bypass this. You do actually need this in order to play the Analogue. I tried just putting the USB-C straight into an adapter that I had. Doesn't work, so it's recommended to use this plug, so buy a travel adapter. So if you do have one on the way, make sure to buy it now. And then all you do then, you just get the 2 prongs, plug it in. I got this one from Tesco, but it does say it's not rated for long-term use. I've ordered another one from Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description for that if you want to pick one of those up. Okay guys, number 2, and this is really important. Something that I usually ignore, and that you need to update the firmware for the Analogue. It is recommended straight out of the box, version 1.1.0 at time of recording. So you need to go to the Analogue website. I'll leave a link in the description. Download the firmware, and if you're not familiar with technical terms, I thought I was, but you need to drop the firmware update into the root directory, which is basically the top level folder of the Analogue directory on the SD card. There's 2 ways that you could do it. You could take the SD card out. It's not a micro SD card, it's just a regular SD card. So you'll need an adapter or something to be able to read it if you want to do it that way and plug it into your PC. The other way that you can do it is connect it directly from the Analogue straight into the PC. And apparently you can do it that way. I didn't do it that way. I didn't realize at the time. I did it via the firmware updates, taking out the SD card and then plugging it into the computer via adapter. So why is it so important? Well, one of the biggest things that people have asked me about so far is using an EverDrive or a summer cart. Now, I tried to play it without updating the firmware using the summer cart, but it didn't work straight out of the box. So if you want to use the summer cart, you'll need to update the firmware in order for you to be able to play your backed up games. Nintendo only backed up legal copies, so yeah, you'll need to do that to play your backed up ROMs. The other advantage of that, and it's one of the key selling points for me for the Analogue, is the overclocking mode. Now, the overclocking mode improves performance of some of the N64 games that used to lag a lot. You're thinking of Perfect Dark or anything really with multiple polygons or characters on the screen. So if you've got lots of zombies in Resident Evil, lots of bots or Perfect Dark, or anything really that suffered from slowdown. I remember Doom and Quake particularly. This is still experimental, so in some cases you will actually break the game slightly or speed up the game too fast, but this is currently being optimized by Analogue, so over time with future firmware updates this will be remedied. Okay, so the next thing you need to think about updating, again unfortunately, is more firmware, and that is the 8-bit controller. There's new firmware update 2.0. I've done previous guides on the channel about how to update your firmware, but in this update is key if you want close consistency and accuracy of the Analogue stick. So you can actually calibrate the Analogue stick, and it's recommended that you do 2 rotations. So if this is the Analogue stick, you push it up once, rotate it twice, and then you drop it back down. You need to do it slower than that. Mine, so it's just like 1 and then 2, and then you just let it go and it drops back, and that sets the Analogue so it is a close likeness to the N64 original controller. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that. Another thing that people has asked me is, do you need the 8-bit controller in order to go through the setup? Because when you go through the Analogue setup with the terms and conditions, you need to press a few buttons, drop the Analogue down, read all the terms and conditions, and accept them. Hopefully you don't become a human centipede. Otherwise I might see you there.
I don't know, I didn't read them!
That, and then you You can do that using your original N64 controller, so don't worry about that if you haven't pre-ordered the 8BitDo controller. It's not actually necessary, and there's 4 ports on there. I thought I'd just mention that because people were asking me about that particularly. Yeah, so they're the main things. Another thing that you want to do, number 4, bit of quality of life improvement, is someone has shared all the kart images on GitHub. I'll leave a link in the description again for that, as long with all the other links that you'll need. But if you download the link on GitHub, it gives all the kart images. So when you plug your GoldenEye ROM in, for example, as stock and as standard, there is no kart image, but you'll need to download this and you'll need to put it into the images folder. I'll leave a link again, and I'll show on screen now exactly what you need to do in order to have all the kart updates successfully. So that is another thing. And then the final thing that I would recommend with your 8BitDo is go into the settings and change the image quality. As standard, it's set to, I think it's DVR, which is the high resolution mode, but it's set with like scan lines to make it look like a high quality monitor. When I was streaming it, it looked better on clear mode, but personally I'll probably use scan lines. It looked a bit too blurry, but I was using a 1080p capture card. I don't have a 4K capture card, so unfortunately that was kind of the best images I could get from it. But one thing to consider is when you go in there and you can update the settings, you can also do this per game as well. So if you want one game set a specific way, like I mentioned with that enhanced mode with overclocking, you can do this, and you can set it for one game. So if another game experiences too much speed up when you overclock it, you can set this accordingly per game on a per game basis. So that's it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if I've helped you at all, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Game over, yeah!